you doing? Say hi to your fans. I love you. Hey y'all, it's Molly with Minnie Acres Farm, and I thought that I would take you on a little tour around the perimeter of our property today so I can share with you more about dreams and goals that we have for this property, and maybe you can give me some ideas too. Okay, it's hot and muggy and the mosquitoes are after me. This might not have been a good idea after all. I'm actually in the middle of the property, and what's over ahead of us is my garden that you normally see, but I started in the middle for one because we have a fence right here that cuts our property in half on this side, and this is where we had some goats to try to clear out the back part of our property, and so I don't know, I just decided to start here in the middle. So I'm going to turn the camera around and we'll start walking towards the back part of our property. Okay, here we go. I have to watch where I'm walking because we have a lot of snakes, and this is the time of year as the weather starts cooling off that they begin moving to go hibernate. And if you think that rattlesnakes are endangered and should be protected, then you are more than welcome to come to my house and collect all the rattlesnakes that you want to take home with you and make them your pet. Here we go. Can I get to the corner? Whoop. Okay. Here's the corner. Okay, so from the corner, I'm going to turn back up, and you can't see where we came from. And then I'm going to turn back to the corner and look this way. Several years ago, we borrowed some goats to clear this area, and they did such a good job. But of course, if you don't keep it mowed down or maintained, everything grows back eventually. We have had some fun learning about some native plants and foraging for some edible plants. That has been fun for our kids. We're a homeschooling family, and nature study is a big part of that. This might not have been a great idea. Excuse me, guys. I can go around you. I'm not scared of snakes, but the more I think about accidentally stepping on one, I start to feel kind of nervous. Let's go under here. Oh boy. Okay, here we go. Look at that. Evidence of a wild animal back here. Just kidding. Rusty's been back here. This area should start looking familiar if you saw my first farm tour. I brought you down to the creek, and you can see, I just walked through a spider web, and you can see my little bench where I like to come down here and sit. And I didn't think about that the creek might be kind of high because of all the rain. I didn't plan this out very well. Oh, I'm getting stuck. That's great. Okay, let's just take a minute to look at this pretty creek. See the fishies. We have some little fish, little minnows, and we have some crawfish. And this creek starts on our property. We have a spring up at the north end of the property. So all the fish and things that come in here are likely brought in by birds. Like the little eggs are on their feet or something like that. Like they bring them in. And there is the fence. So this is the edge of our property where this creek runs off into our neighbor's property, and it connects with another creek which connects with another creek, which connects with the Yellow River. You see this spot? Normally I can cross this spot without too much trouble. And hopefully today I will not fall or drop my phone in. So wish me luck. Slippery. How am I gonna get over there? Oh, okay. I'm gonna hang onto the fence. I'm gonna make this jump. Oh, this isn't working out how I wanted it to. Oh, mama, that's slippery. Whose idea was this? This is not a good idea. Okay, can you see up ahead? That's the way we're going. I am not gonna walk over there and show you more of the beautiful rambling creek because I will get stuck in the mud. This is all really boggy. Beautiful, but boggy. And also, mosquitoes. State bird of Florida. See the pretty ferns? Aren't they pretty? We're watching where we're going. We're trying not to slip. That's slippery. Okay. Alright. Oh, we made it. Okay, the worst is over. I probably shouldn't have said that. Here we go. Okay. Up ahead, you should start to see a clearing, and I will show you what that's all about when we get up there. It's so pretty back here. It feels very, very like Fern Gully. Matter of fact, let me spin over here one more time. Look at the creek. It's really full right now. Our property is pretty sloped. It's not a massive hill. Oh, another spider web. Go down. I'm so sorry for disturbing you guys this morning. Our property, for the love. I'll show you how sloped it is. So while we have been borrowing my brother-in-law's tractor to fix our driveway, which I'll show you, my husband decided to use it while we had the chance before it rained to clear some of this out here. So this is usually pretty brushy as well. I'm gonna get over here. I'm gonna show you this power line that runs across our whole property. Bye, your ants. No, thank you. Okay. Ooh, can you see? So, do you see how it goes down and then up again? So, the creek starts up there in the woods, goes underground, comes out here, goes underground, comes back out down where we were. So, you can't get down there with a tractor. When we first moved here, and at the time I had only 2 kids, and we had started homeschooling, and we would do nature study, and we would walk out in the woods, and we would try to walk down to the creek out here. And I don't know how many flip-flops and other kind of shoes that we lost in the muck, in the bog, trying to get down there. So there are shoes buried like fossils down there somewhere. But sometimes we come out here and you'll just stand and be watching, and a deer will just stand up and start walking. So there could be deer hanging out in there right now, just relaxing. So this is also showing how basically half of our 12 acres is wooded. And I didn't mention, but back here where it's partially fenced off, this is where we had the goats at that one time, and I would like to have goats back here again, or maybe pigs, something to help kind of clear it a little bit. I would love for it to still be wooded, but also be silvopasture. That's the word. The kind of pasture where there's grass, but it's also shaded with trees throughout. So we want to preserve a lot of the forest, but we would also like to be able to have more grass for our animals and for wildlife too. Sorry if the wind is windy. I'm really not sure if this video actually shows you how pretty it is out here. So now we're headed north up to the road. I love that he came through here and cut this trail where we like to walk. Let me show you. Let me pan to the left a little bit. See? can't see, looking back the way we came, you can't really see the clearing, but that's okay. We're gonna keep going. So again, with putting up fences, which we have to do over time because the material for fences is expensive, eventually fencing off a section of the property at a time with really quality fences, because for the most part we've just used cheaper wire fencing that is very easily bent and broken by the animals or by neighbors who, I'm not kidding, have climbed over it for no reason, to get their dog or whatever. Yeah. Okay, here we are, approaching the road. I have no idea if there's any sense of how far we walked. It's at least 1,000 feet, if I'm not mistaken, from the long end, one end to the other, if that makes any sense at all. So there's the corner. Let's see if you can see. It's kind of hard to tell, but we're gonna give it a go. Oh, a little mushroom friend. I like foraging for mushrooms, but I don't trust myself to identify the ones that are edible. So that's a hobby I leave for the experts. Something frustrating about having property right on the road is people will just throw their trash over the fence. I should have planned ahead and brought a garbage bag to collect trash on my walk. I'll have to do that next time. When it's cooler and I take this walk for pleasure, I'll try to do that. I would also like to do this walk barefoot because I talked in my Gardening for Mental Health video about grounding and earthing, and being barefoot on the soil is really good for your mental health. But if you've ever stepped, sorry, I had to bend down. If you've ever stepped on an acorn barefoot, you know that acorns are Mother Nature's Legos. So no going barefoot on this trip. Do y'all like to identify trees? If so, there's definitely a lot of trees here to identify. Okay, I see that I cannot get through up there. I'm gonna turn right here. We're gonna go into the woods. All right, at this point, since I've now gotten technically off the perimeter, I can't really guarantee where I'm taking you, but I know we're gonna approach a spot here pretty soon that is where I can turn right again and continue traveling westward along the north perimeter of the property. I'm stuck here. I gotta go under. Whose idea was this? Oh, here we go. I wonder how much of this I'm gonna edit out. Progress. I'm not lost. I know where I am. So, both sections on either side of the clearing where we can't do anything with that because that power company has the right of way to keep that nice and clear, so that, you know, if they have to maintain the power lines or whatever. We want to be able to fence off this section and have goats or something like that, and fence off the other section and have goats or pigs or something like that, and fully use our property. Okay. Oh, we made it. What is that? Do you know what that is? Let's touch it. What is some kind of fungus? Whoa. Okay, I ruined it. I don't know what it is. Oh, there's a bunch of them. I have never seen that before. I'm not sure if you can see our house down there. There's the barn. But this way is where I would like to have our driveway. It's really pretty. Let's walk down there. Let's just walk down there real quick. Y'all don't mind, do you? We need to do a lot for this and another really steep spot. So where this steep spot is, I don't know who came up with the term dirt cheap, but dirt ain't cheap. And we need dirt and gravel and all kind of things to level that out a little bit so that we can have a safe driveway. Let me just show you this little spot right here. Oh wow. I haven't been up here since that tree fell. I think that tree fell with the last hurricane that came through. And these trees have grown up. Great. This is turning out great. This is so majestic. Use your imagination. Oh, I see a visitor. He's mad at me because I closed the gate and wouldn't let him go in the woods with me. He doesn't care in the world. All right, we're going back up. I'm not sure how well I can show it, but our property and our neighbor's property is terraced. Well, it's supposed to be terraced, which helps with the runoff of the rain so it doesn't erode the field. Let me get up here to the top of the driveway and I'll finish that story. Here's where we currently have a gate, and up there at the road there's a lot more grass that we would like to be able to fence this in when we move the driveway so that the mule can have more grass to eat. And here we are going down our driveway. So can you see the terraces? So like I said, the purpose of a terrace is so that the rain runs off towards the creek and lessens the erosion. This land, when we bought it, there's actually 36 acres here. We didn't know about it being for sale until they had split it up into 3 12-acre parts, and 2 parts were already sold. But the last thing that was farmed on this property was peanuts. And even all these years later, we still occasionally get peanuts popping up somewhere on the property. Do you see our terrible driveway? All of this rain we've been getting is great for the garden, but it's terrible for this driveway. But one day, this will all be fixed and it will be part of pasture, more pasture for the animals. We planted these Leland cypresses. Back when we built this house, we were the only house out here, and the year after we moved in, 7 other houses were built around us. And we're not complaining. We understand. We didn't own all that land, so we can't stop people from building on it. But our neighbors that put their house right where they could basically look into our yard and call us every time that they saw a new cat in our yard, we decided to put up those cypresses to help block the view. And hopefully we can get some more, because there's a few more spots where we would like to block the view from the neighbors. Oh, we've been found. Hi, Mabel. What you doing? So we clip their wings. You clip one wing, just one side. It's like trimming fingernails. It doesn't hurt them, to keep them from flying over the fence. Yeah, these girls know how to climb. Do you see the braces that my husband put in? Yeah, we can sit on the porch and watch these girls shimmy right up those braces. So if I turn this way, I think you can see where that power line goes. And then I'm going to turn around here, and you can see that little clearing right there is where we were earlier. I don't know if that gives you any sense of how big our property is. I'm being followed. Are you coming with me? Oh, I've never shown you our grapevines. They are muscadines. Somebody was gonna toss them out. Somebody that works with my husband was gonna toss them out. So he went to their house and helped him dig them up and bring them here so that we could have them. Unfortunately, we can sit on the porch and watch the chickens come over here and jump to get a grape. And honestly, if a chicken can jump that high, they've earned it. And then also the deer get in here too, and eat them. So we've not actually harvested anything off of these vines. Okay, here we go. Okay. Here we are. So I'm not walking over there. That is the corner of our property. And as you see, there is a power line pole here. Because of that power line pole, there is 10 feet of space here that we cannot use. Remember I said the weed eater's broken. Don't look at that. But over there is my garden. But over there is my garden and my greenhouse. And then we have two panels here that are easily removable. They're not zip tied or anything. If the power company needs to get in here to access the other pole over there that goes to their house, they can just lift them and move them and drive through. So what I want to do here, I really want to try growing Timothy hay for my bunnies in this spot, or something else that if there were an emergency and the power company had to come in here and run it over, I wouldn't be heartbroken. But I still want to use that space, because 10 feet wide and ever how many feet long, that's actually a lot of space. All right, now we're back in front of the garden. One day this is gonna be beautiful and I will not be embarrassed to show you all the junk. Bricks, free bricks from a friend. Can't wait for that project. And we're going to enter the secret garden. One day these vines are gonna grab me, and I'm okay with that. All right, so as I walk over to the fence here, this is a hot mess, but one day I'll have something beautiful to show you here too. So we have a gate between our house and our neighbors because we like our neighbors. And even though their house is right through those woods right there where their front porch is facing our property, we use their property has always been for our kids. That's like our emergency meeting location. So, you know, you have to have your fire escape plan, your emergency plan, so that if your kids have to climb out the window, they know where to go. And our meeting place is their house. Okay, you cannot see through those woods where I was standing earlier along that fence in the middle of the property, but it's back there and it comes up here, and this is a whole nother little area that could be fenced off so that the goats could clear it for us. But I'm going to turn around this way and see if you can see. There's the other fence if the power company needs to get through. So the fence and the greenhouse, that space, the space on that side of the arbor, back, T-post right there. So I want to put a fence here, and then a fence there, and then this whole area will be the cottage potager garden. So all of this space back here will have shade-loving perennials, flowers, vegetables, whatever. This whole space right here is my big plan for anything that I want to grow that likes shade. Like this gal. This is my Kimberly Queen Fern. I split it back in the spring. It was so overgrown in this pot, and I split it into 3 sections, and all the new growth on here is stunning. She loves it here in the shade. She loves it when it rains. And the other 2 pieces I put in pots on my front porch, and they're also growing really nicely. So if you ever notice something like a house plant, a fern or something like that, that is just not doing well, it might just be that it's outgrown its pot and it's ready to be divided. And that is a fantastic way to get free plants. And over here under this tree, can you see I hung some more plants that are divides from my house plants inside, and they seem pretty happy right there. And here's a spot that I like to sit, and these chairs, they look terrible now, but our neighbors were throwing them out. They were just sitting on the side of the road. I spray painted them black, but as you can see, the black spray has worn off. And when there's not weeds here in front of me blocking my view, when this is just nice low grass, and then one day this will all be flowers and whatever. This is a really nice spot to sit in the shade, look out over the garden with a cup of coffee, and just enjoy a quiet morning. I don't know if you can hear the crows. Oh, I think they got louder just for you. Hey y'all, it's Future Molly here, and I forgot to mention something this morning when I was recording. So I wanted to talk a little bit about zones. I didn't cover that while we were walking the perimeter of the property, and I wanted to go over the zones of our property just a little bit. And also because I brushed my hair and drew on my eyebrows for y'all, I thought this would be a great opportunity to not look like a complete hot mess on camera. So also just a little while ago, my son went down to the creek to fish, and he saw a baby deer, and he caught a big crawdad, like the biggest one we've seen in our creek. So I'm going to see if I can get him to send me his little video clip that he made and put it right here so you can see it. And I just wanted to share that I'm frustrated because we didn't get to see that on our walk this morning. Anyway, I'm going to put a picture up on the screen of our property. I don't remember where I found this little zone map, but if I can find the link, I'll put that in the description. But you should be able to see our property, which is shaped like a rectangle, and it's actually divided into 4 quadrants. And 2 quadrants are 8A and 2 quadrants are 8B, and they're checkerboard. And it's strange to me because if the right side of our property from all the way north to south is woods, and the left side of our property all the way from north to south is clear. So how do those microclimates come about? And I know that part of it has to do with the location of the creek, and part of it has to do with elevation, because it's a good little bit of a hill up to the top of our property. So looking at that, if you can find out the microclimates of your property, preferably before you decide where you're going to put your garden in, or where you're going to plant your fruit trees or things like that, to see where the best places are, because you might have a better chance of growing citrus fruit if you choose a place where there's a microclimate where it doesn't get as cold on that part of the property as it does the rest of the property, if that makes sense. So I wish we'd actually known more about that. I still feel like I would have put my garden exactly in the same spot, because in location to our house and where we already have established places for our animals, it actually still works out really well for it to be where it is. So researching your zones, researching your microclimates, all that jazz, highly recommend it. That's a bonus tip. Hope you enjoyed. Like, subscribe, tap that bell, all the things, all that jazz. Talk to you later. Bye. How am I gonna get over there? All right, here's what we're gonna do. Here, you guys just sit down.